Welcome to another edition of The Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Maya Woods. Joining me is Coach Moore. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on, Maya.
Coach, congratulations on last Friday night's 50-19 playoff win over Westerville South. As you look back on the win, what are some of the things that pleased you the most about your team's performance?
Well, I thought our offense had their best game of the year. Operation was really good. From the top down, I thought our coaches did a great job, and we executed really, really well, and our tempo was really good. Everything was flowing pretty smooth, and the kids went out and made some plays. Some great throws by a quarterback, some nice catches, some great runs, some great blocks. It was a pretty good outing.
Running back Freddie Lennox Jr. led the way on offense, rushing for 226 yards on 22 carries and scoring 2 touchdowns. Was it the plan all along for Freddie to get a lot of carries, or was that a result of his early success?
22 is not a lot for us. I mean, that's probably, about average for a running back, I'd say. Maybe even a little bit below average. About 25 is probably about normal. But I mean, Freddie started the game, and he was going to be our running back, and we'll play multiple guys at times, but he's playing well. He got a lot of snaps. You would say that he did get a lot of snaps, but he was really productive with his carries. He broke off 2 really long runs, scored 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, it was a very productive 22 carries. I'd say that too.
Both of your quarterbacks, Darius McElroy and Jalen Slaughter, each played a lot in the game. What do both of these quarterback skill sets bring to your offense on any given night? Jalen's our quarterback, and he played well. He really operated really well, ran the offense, and made some great decisions and some great throws on third down. And then, we run a lot of different personnel groupings, and one of the personnel groupings we use is with Darius at quarterback in a wildcat type set, and we maximize his skill set then, and he brings a lot to the table in that set. We really like it on the plus side of the field. We could run it any time, but we really like it on the plus side of the field. And Darius is a very physical runner. And he can also throw the ball. And there's some things that he throws really, really well. And so we're just trying to maximize his skill set. And then schematically, when you can use the quarterback as a runner, it allows you to equate the numbers with the defense. You're playing 11 on 11 instead of 11 on 10. And so that's been really effective for us. Down the stretch this back half of the season. So we've kind of settled into that, and it's a personnel grouping that we use. That's really effective, and we'll continue to expand on it and use it to win games, which is our only concern really. Your defense gave up just 6 points in the second half against Westerville South. How would you summarize their play?
I thought we were okay defensively. Now, Westerville South they're a good offense. They've got some really good skill kids. They had a really nice running back. But we struggled with the pit and pull scheme to the boundary and into the weak side of our defense. We got to get better at that. But and one of the touchdowns we gave up was a really short field and a long kickoff. We can't. Part of playing good defense is not putting your defense in bad positions. We gotta put our defense in better spots than that. But overall, okay. Definitely not our best outing.
Freshman kicker Nolan Hendricks was 4 for 4 in extra point attempts. Tell us more about Nolan.
Well, he's a freshman. He's a kicker, and He does a pretty good job. He's going to be really, really good, we feel like. And, you know, for a freshman, he's doing a nice job, a really nice job. You know, he's been real consistent on the extra points all year, and when we've needed him. And he can kick some field goals. I think he has a field goal under his belt week 5 against Lakewood St. Edward, which was, you know, rolling a kid out there in a game like that. That's you know, then for him to step up and kick that field goal, it's pretty good. He's also a nice punter. He didn't punt for us Friday, but he's a nice punter. He did kick off for us and did pretty well. You know, he's you know, he's pretty good at ball placement, and he's kicking it down to about the 10 or so, I'd say, on average, which is, you know, you'd want it, yeah, I mean, you want it as deep as you can get it, you know, but, you know, for being a freshman and not having an off season in the weight room yet, you know, I'd expect him next year to be, you know, pushing that thing into the end zone most of the time. So the future is definitely bright for him.
In a moment, we'll talk with the Tiger player, but first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile-per-gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar-ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call Reliable Heating and Cooling for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning. When you're ready to live in the now, call Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Thank you, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Join me now is co-captain and senior quarterback Darius McElroy. Darius, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
First of all, congratulations on being named one of the co-captains on this year's team. Tell us how you felt when you found out you were selected as a co-captain.
How I felt was like I was honored actually, because I didn't think I was going to come into this year and be a captain with a good friend of mine, Dom. And it's also like crazy because like I would never have thought that I'd be a captain coming into my senior year, but it really happened, and I really love my team for picking me for that.
Nice. How old were you when you first started playing football, and who taught you the game?
I was probably about 6 years old, and my dad taught me how to play football. But quarterback, I don't know, I just started throwing the ball. It worked out, so.
As a quarterback, describe some of the skills that are necessary to be successful at that position.
You gotta have your mind has to be in the right spot all the time. And you also gotta control your team and make sure you're in the right spots and figure everything out and make sure your team is on the right track.
You were a key factor in your team's win over McKinley back in week number 10. Tell us what you were feeling as you celebrated with your teammates on the field after the game.
It was a lot of emotions, actually. It was a lot actually after the game. Actually, I started tearing up after, like during interviews and stuff. But I had to give all the credit to the line, because without them, I couldn't run or score any touchdowns in that game at all. So the whole time, I'm like, after the game, I'm like with them because they did it all for me.
As a co-captain, what is your message to your teammates as you get ready this week to face undefeated Big Walnut in round 3 of the playoffs?
Stay focused, come out ready to hit, and let's win.
All right. Well, thank you, Darius. Coach Moore will rejoin us after we take this time out on The Nate Moore Show.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
Welcome back to the Nate Moore Show. Coach, we just spoke with senior quarterback Darius McElroy. How has Darius contributed to the success of the football team this year while serving as one of the co-captains?
Well, I mean, as a captain, number one is through leadership, you know, he was voted captain by his teammates, and you know, has done a great job with that. And then, you know, had a tough situation with you know, being the starting quarterback and then not being the starting quarterback. But he's really risen to the occasion. You know, a lot of kids wouldn't be able to handle that as well as he has, and you know, to his credit, he's back on the field as a contributor and in a very effective personnel grouping that we use. We use him like a wildcat running back, and yeah, I mean that was really key against Canton McKinley in that game in the second half, and you know, it's been key. Last week, I guess he was out week 11, but you know, it was definitely key on Friday.
Your Tigers will face undefeated Big Walnut this Friday night at Mansfield in a Division II regional semifinal. What can you tell us about the Golden Eagles?
Well, they're a really good football team, 12-0. They're the number one seed in our region. They're a mirror image of us in a lot of ways. You know, offensively, they want to run the football. You know, they'll run it 40, 50 times in a game. Heavy gap scheme, similar to us. They'll throw some tags and some screens off of the run game, you know, like we do. And then they'll take some shots down the field and with some play action, you know, kind of like we do. So, real similar offensively and defensively. I mean, very similar to us. They play more eagle front than we do typically, but you know, very similar coverages. You know, a lot of too high, almost exclusively too high. You know, two read match concepts on the outside with some trips adjustments. So very similar. Very similar. Great running back. A good young quarterback. Good up front on both sides of the ball. It's a tall task. It's a good team.
What are some of the things that you anticipate Big Walnut will try and force your offense and defense into doing?
You know, that's a big question. I mean, who knows? Who knows? You know, we got to get out there and find out, and that's kind of the name of the game is, you know, diagnose those things as soon as you can, and you know, we don't wait till like our halftime's not adjustment time. Like we're making adjustments all the time, and I mean, it's one of the big advantages with now having film on the sideline. You know, you never used to have that. I think that rule changed, I don't know, 6 years ago, something like that. 8 years ago. Yeah, something like that. So I mean, now with film on the sideline in real time, basically, we're making adjustments. You know, like I mean, no longer should you ever have a discussion after the game where, like, I wish we would have seen that. I wish we would have been able to, you know, see what we see now in the film. I mean, you know, those times are gone. Like, you know, we're seeing that stuff live now. So, but yeah, I mean, back to your question. That's the name of the game is diagnosing how they're going to defend us and attacking them based off of that.
As you well know, the OHSAA expanded the high school football playoffs prior to the start of this season. 16 teams in each region qualified for the playoffs this year. What are your thoughts on the expanded playoff format?
I mean, I would say I think there's positives and negatives on both sides, and because there's not a clear cut yes or no, I would say leave it the same. The one big negative is going to the playoffs is a lot less special than it used to be, and I don't know that that's good for the sport or high school football. So I was in favor of keeping it the same with the 8 teams in.
We want to thank Coach Moore and Tiger Senior co-captain and quarterback Darius McElroy for joining us on the show this week. The Nate Moore Show has been brought to you by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Maya Woods. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Bye, sweetie. I love you.
Bye, Mommy. I love you.
No matter where life takes you, MCTV helps make sure you're never far from home.
Hi. Are you being good for Daddy?
Yes. Can we read a bedtime story?
MCTV connects you to home because that's what matters most.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
MCTV. We go the extra smile.